ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, January 17th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Thanks for being a part of today's show. We're going to get your text in this hour. Do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I've got guests coming on the show today. I'm looking forward to talking to my friend Sydney Shelton. She's the Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement at Marshall University. She's coming on the show here in the next few minutes. We got a few things to get into with her. Women's basketball this week. Want to talk about that, obviously. Big game on Saturday, Coastal. The game tomorrow against ODU, it's big as well. But Saturday, it's going to be a big game because, well, that's going to be ahead of all the other stuff that's going on. It's going to sort of like a big day. Sydney's going to tell me more about it because we got the Sweetheart Clinic coming up, and then I know she's excited about Education Day, so that's something that we're going to talk to Sydney about. So she's coming on here in the next few minutes. Looking forward to catching up with her. And later on, we're going to talk to Aislynn Hayes, the Marshall guard that was named the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. She's averaging 12.9 points a contest. She's bringing in almost 5 rebounds a game. And she had 2 20-plus contests last week. So she's coming on the program. The Herd right now 5-0, getting set for that homestand, which we mentioned starts with Old Dominion on Thursday and then, of course, Coastal on Saturday. So all of that's coming up. And as I mentioned, your text. And again, the number to do that's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And if texting's not your thing, don't worry. We got you covered. I'm right now on X, which is the platform formerly known as Twitter. You can find me there at Paul Swann. And, of course, I'm trying some other things out as well. Has anyone got on Threads yet? This was the Facebook attempt to do a Twitter-like app. It's all right. It's not bad, actually. I couldn't get my real username. I had to use my Instagram name, so you can find me there. It's not terrible, but I don't have that many followers. I had like 107 followers, and a lot of it was just people who had Instagram that were following me. And so if you're on Threads, I'm thinking about using that a lot more, but I'm going to need more than 107 followers, wouldn't you think? I mean, right now, Twitter's pretty much good. X. X is pretty good. You know, for everything that has been said about it and all the negative, and it's still rolling pretty strong. So we've got X for you. We got Facebook. We got all of that. But I was just kind of curious. Anybody using Threads? I'm trying to get my algorithm to be correct because for the first few weeks, it was just social media influencers. And these were not my people. These were not the things that I would follow a social media network for. Wasn't any sports going on. It was, I can't describe it on what it is on air because, well, let's put it this way. It was, the algorithm kept forcing things, and it was almost like OnlyFans light. Nothing actually to that level, but it was like OnlyFans light type of influencers. Like the PG version of OnlyFans. I was seeing that in my feed for a while, so I had to definitely work around trying to just interact with people with even something close to what I would want to. So I'm looking for folks. If you're there, find me. Threads is the network. And if you're on X and you're using that, find me there as well, at Paul Swann. All right. We've got the show set up. Looking forward to talking to my next guests here in the next few minutes. The Sydney Shelton, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Aislynn Hayes, having a great season so far. Marshall's 5-0, taking on Old Dominion and Coastal this week. Looking forward to that. We've got some other news to talk about today. Let's start with Abby Herring. Abby Herring is named the Sun Belt Women's Track Athlete of the Week. So congratulations to her. She had an amazing run in 3K. And so she cut, I think it was like 15, 16 seconds. She cuts a lot of time off of her previous mark. And so she gets the nod. I know track and field is definitely important for Marshall right now. They're really looking to grow all the offerings. I know they're still working on something for outdoor for Marshall in conjunction with something for the soccer team. Speaking of outdoor stuff, I know there was a scheduled event soon for the Big Green. It was sort of a hard hat tour of the Cook, whatever we're going to call it, Jack Cook Stadium there, the Cook. That's been postponed because of the weather. Obviously, if you are living in the immediate area or you're in the East Coast listening to the show live, streaming, or on the podcast, you know that we've had a lot of cold, nasty weather and snow. So that's going to be rescheduled. So if you're looking forward to that, you're going to have to put that off just a little bit. I'm kind of disappointed. I hate to see that moved because I'm excited to get in there again and see what's happening with that place. I'm excited. I was there a few months ago, and it was looking really sharp then. The structure of the place was there. You could see, okay, this is what this is going to look like. Greg Beals was excited to talk about, hey, we're getting this facility built. It's sort of like going to be our clubhouse. It's going to be our home away from home. That's going to be where we hang out, work, and do everything. And the few things that he could have a little bit of an input on, he was pointing out. But, yeah, I hate that we don't get the hands-on tour just yet. We got to wait a little bit more. But it's coming sooner than you think. We're going to actually have baseball in Huntington, baseball on a consistent basis in Huntington. And I'm hoping that Marshall's able to start making some bids on things. And we haven't talked about it, and we will, but the bid that it's out there now for the SSAC, for the playoff championships, joint collaboration between Morgantown and Huntington, you could have, on a rotating basis, you could have championship games being played at Mountaineer Field, or you could have them played at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. That would be super cool to have the high school championships being played at the schools in the state, the two Division I schools. I'm looking forward to seeing where that progress, or that proposal goes, how it progresses. That's exciting to me. And with the baseball park, that's exciting to me as well because, you know, hopefully you're not using that for just Marshall, or, of course, you're going to have some spring baseball as well. We haven't really talked about that, but you've got some opportunities here. All right. I want to get to my guest, so we'll do that when we continue. Sydney Shelton joining me first, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Marshall University. She's always fun to talk to. She joins me when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Get the tire that will see you through the cold and then some. The long-lasting all-season Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire, because winter doesn't last forever. Between 11:15 and 12:05, get $70 via reward card or virtual prepaid card after online submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger tractor or light truck tires. $70 tire rebate on all tire lines, plus a $30 bonus rebate on Michelin winter tires only. See TikTok Tire, 3rd Avenue in Huntington, across from Jones C. Edwards Stadium. www.michelinman.com/deals-deals-deals-and-rebates for complete detail. Offer expires 12/5/23. Void where prohibited.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. It's always fun to have my next guest on with me. I've known her for several years now, and she always brings a new energy to the show when she's on with me. She's the Director of Marketing and Fan Energy. That was your new title. That's your new title. It's not fan engagement.
I like that.
Yeah, it's Director of Marketing and Fan Energy. It's Sydney Shelton.
I love it.
I like it.
I'm gonna petition for a title change. I love it.
That's how I'm going to refer to you from now until the end of time. Sydney Wells Shelton, the Director of Marketing and Fan Energy at Marshall University. It'll catch eventually, I hope. At least somebody, the higher ups, will hear that and go, "That's a pretty good idea, Paul."
We'll start a change.
You got a busy week.
How we doing?
I'm good. I'm glad we're back together here because you got a busy week. You always have a busy week. There's never an off week for you. And you got women's basketball. They're hot right now. Later on, we're going to have on the show Aislynn Hayes just won Player of the Week. And I know she's going to be excited for Saturday in the Sweetheart Clinic, but she's got business to attend to first, and that's where we'll start. We got women's basketball Thursday and Saturday. Old Dominion, 6 o'clock on Thursday. Thankfully, the weather, we're not in that snow part of the week now, and everything seems to be all clear, ready to go. So we're all set for some basketball on Thursday.
Absolutely. We're super excited to be back at the camp with women's basketball on Thursday. Game time is 6 p.m. Doors open at 5 like normal. And Thursday's game is our We Are Standing United game. So it is where we recognize diversity and inclusion and bring, those things into our game. So we have several campus partners that'll be tabling upstairs in the concourse to make sure you stop by, see the resources that they have on campus for our students and for our community. And then, we've got a special performance at halftime. The ladies of Delta Sigma Theta and the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha sororities will be performing a nice performance for us at halftime. So we're looking forward to welcoming them to the CAM to bring, awareness to diversity and inclusion, and also to support Herd women's basketball.
Hot right now, 5-0. They are 11-5, 5-0 in league play, undefeated. They've got Old Dominion. That's going to be a fun game. So if you haven't come out yet to see the women play, now's the perfect time. And, of course, on Saturday, I know this is a personal favorite of yours, the Sweetheart Clinic, 10 a.m. Now, can people still get in on this, or is that over? Did people miss the registration window, or do you have maybe just a spot or two for somebody if they want to be a latecomer?
So actually the Sweetheart Clinic is full, record numbers this year, and we actually sold out in 35 minutes, which is absolutely unreal. It's such a great clinic to welcome little girls to our campus and for them to interact with our student athletes. It's a big part for me. Like, it's a great event. I love it. It pulls at the heartstrings for me because, I was once that little girl. And so while I didn't have a chance to attend something like a Sweetheart Clinic, it's cool for us to give back to the community and have that platform to help. And, we have several student athletes that attended the camp when they were little girls, and now they play sports here. And I'll brag on head coach Morgan Zirkle for a bit. She attended it as a camper. She worked it as a student athlete, and now she's our head women's softball coach. And that's just so cool to watch things like that come full circle. And, we're really excited for Saturday.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask you that. I wasn't sure. There had to be someone that went to that camp years ago that now full circle there at Marshall University. You highlight her. Is there anyone else that comes to mind that, you can say, hey, they were here and now they're here?
Yeah, Kylie Fisher, that's on our tennis team. She attended as a camper and is now a student athlete. Riley Lucas on our softball team, she attended as a camper and is now a student athlete. So it's really, really cool to watch, how that transforms students when they are participants in our camp from the age of 4 years old to the age of 12 years old. And then now they're student athletes. And then who knows what may happen for their future.
Now, this just isn't a basketball camp, right? That's maybe we don't know, just here, Sweetheart Clinic. Okay, it's a camp for young ladies. But, what exactly are they getting to do at these camps?
So we divide our campers into the Jones and the Dots, and that's by age. But, we highlight two very important women, Dot Hicks and Jonesy Edwards. And each participant will get to go to a station for each sport. So you get to go learn tennis, you get to go learn softball, you get to learn basketball. And so you're taught basic fundamental things from each sport by our current student athletes. And you get a little dose of everything. And then we celebrate the end of the clinic with a pizza party and cheering on our women's basketball team.
So this is sort of going to be I don't want to call it Education Day. We'll get to that. But it might have those vibes, that energy.
Yeah, for sure. We encourage every participant to come on over to the CAM. They are given a free pizza party. They get a little goodie bag. We're going to acknowledge them at halftime, bring them down on the court in their matching shirts to say hello to the crowd. And then after the game, we'll have signing Saturday for the public like we always do, but we're also going to have Hoops with the Herd. So the participants of Sweetheart Clinic and any other kids that are at the game can stick around after the game and shoot some hoops with our women's basketball team.
Aislynn Hayes is going to join us here in the next few minutes. You sure that you want to have players, young ladies, go up against her? She's tough. You sure about that?
Maybe not go up against her, but let her take her basketball knowledge and give them to some kids, and I think that'll be a good mix.
Guide them, right? Just guide them.
Oh, yeah.
I'd hate to see what that would look like, just her. It's like that, I don't know, have you ever watched Shaq? He was, I don't know if he was at a Billy Bob's or something, but he was slamming the basketball. These little kids were trying to make shots, and he was blocking them. It was sort of like that I was envisioning. We
won't have that happening. We'll have her, bringing all the basketball knowledge and giving that to our participants.
I'll ask her for what she intends to do. Aislynn, you plan on helping these kids, or are you going to go up there and post up against them? What are you going to do? Sydney is with me, the Director of Marketing and Fan Energy at Marshall University, Sydney Shelton. I told you we're going with that. I love it.
We're going with it.
We're going with that, of course. Aislynn is going to be with us here in the next few minutes, but she's got a big game on Thursday and then Saturday with Coastal, as you mentioned. Hopefully we're going to get a lot of high energy with that game on Saturday, with Coastal being at 1 o'clock at the Henderson Center. Anything else happening for maybe those who aren't campers that are coming to the game on Saturday?
Just come and supporting our women. They are, doing really big things. Leading the conference right now. We've got a Player of the Week in our pocket for this week. Lots of big things. And, the crowd helps. The fan energy helps. And if you come and you support and hold up your 3 signs and cheer on these women as, they compete and they show us greatness. And I think that's a big thing that we can do as a community. You know, these women are showing up. We need to show up for them.
Education Day is coming up as well, and it's going to have a different vibe than the game on Saturday because that game is loaded with youth. It's deliberate. It's going to be loud. It's going to be extremely, extremely hype in that gym, in that arena for this game because on February 7th, you're just opening the doors to what everyone, all the school kids, all the kids are coming.
All the kids. We want all the kids. So right now we're sitting at about 1,700 that have registered.
Ooh.
So 1,700 screaming kids in the Cam Henderson Center, and, you know, I am super pumped about that. We are going to have a jump rope team perform at halftime. We have a children's choir coming in to sing the national anthem, and so many more things planned for these students, you know, that we are just super excited to bring into the Cam. But registration is still open. If you and your school, your class, whatever, want to come, you can go to herdzone.com, and under our Fans First tab, there is a section that says Education Day, and you can still register. We still are welcoming as many schools that want to come. You know, we're welcoming you with open arms. And so we will hopefully have a great day filled with lots of fun activities and cheer on our women's basketball team. In addition to Education Day, that day is also National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. And so we're going to have our student athletes that are from our other teams come, and they're going to be assigned like a school in a section. And so you may get to cheer alongside of other student athletes as we, you know, celebrate women and all that they do.
Who do you think is going to be the most hyped of the other sports? Which section? Volleyball, softball? What do you think? Tennis? What do you think?
No, you know, volleyball has a really good presence at all of our sporting events, and they are generally very loud. So I look forward to seeing who we're going to put them with.
Okay. So are you wanting to put them with the loudest group, you think, or maybe give them a little extra to work with and give them maybe a group that could use a little help? What do you think? I mean, how do you rank this?
I guess you'll just have to come to Education Day and see.
Okay. All right. Sydney's not giving me anything, as she always does. We work it in. She is the Director of Marketing and Fan Energy. Until further notice, that is her new title. The Thundering Herd Education Day will be February 7th. So if you are interested, you have to go to herdzone.com to get registered. And those games are loud. I've been to a few. They're loud, absolutely. And now if you're going to have the coaches from the other sports, you think they're going to compete with each other? I mean, could that be thrown in there? Have a little competition between the other coaches?
I could see a competition shaping up in the Cam.
Have like a little cup, a little office cup for the champion of that.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. We'll have to bring that back to the team and see what we can come up with for that.
Okay, I like that. Sydney's with us. She is, of course, in charge of all the game day fun you see on game day. What's coming up next week? Anything special that we kind of need to keep on our radar? I know Education Day, obviously, but anything else that's coming on our radar that we need to maybe be looking forward to?
Yeah, so we're back in the Cam with men's basketball next week. So got a game on Wednesday, which is a little bit of a change. Sometimes we flip back and forth from Wednesday to Thursday. And then we've got a game on Saturday, and that game on Saturday is Alumni Day. So looking forward to bringing back our men's basketball alumni, including coaches and players, equipment managers, trainers, the full 9 yards, and welcoming them back to the Cam Henderson.
Sydney Shelton, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, also known as the Director of Fan Energy at Marshall University. Have fun this week. I know it's going to be a blast with all those kids on Saturday with the Sweetheart Clinic, and there was, of course, at the Cam. So it should be a fun week for you. Yeah,
I'm super excited.
Thanks, Sid. Appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Go Herd.
That's Sydney Shelton. When we continue, Aislynn Hayes is going to join us. She's having a good week. She's averaging over 12 points a contest. Last week, she had 2 20-plus performances. She was named the Sun Belt Women's Player of the Week. We talk to her when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930.
The more vulnerable among us can fall victim to abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation. When navigating your way out, it doesn't have to feel like a maze. Assistance is available from Adult Protective Services. To report neglect or abuse, call 800-352-6513. Sponsored by the Administration for Community Living, West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources Bureau for Social Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station.
This project was supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $383,493, with 75% funded by ACL HHS and 25% in the amount of $85,236 funded by state government sources. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you need. From the NFL, NBA, NCAA basketball, to college football bowl games and the national championship. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. If you were with us just a few minutes ago, we had Sydney Shelton, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. A lot happening with women's basketball this weekend, including the Sweetheart Clinic. But we've also got the games, Old Dominion coming up tomorrow, Coastal Carolina on Saturday. And joining us now to tell us a little bit more about her big award is Marshall guard Aislynn Hayes. She was named the Sun Belt Conference Women's Player of the Week in basketball. 220-plus performances. She's averaging over 12 points a contest, bringing down almost 5 rebounds a game. She joins us now on the program. Congratulations. You're the first basketball player, men's or women's, to be honored by the league this season. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How excited were you when you heard that? I know you don't play for individual awards, you play for wins, but when you heard that, how exciting was that to know that you got recognized and finally the league seems to be paying attention to Marshall basketball this year?
Well, when I first heard that I got it, I actually was in the weight room. So my teammates were telling me congrats before I even knew. But I was very excited. I work very hard every day, and I just love to win, so.
Right now, that's all you're doing in conference, undefeated, and I know it's a 1-0 mentality every game, but just how's it feel to have such a hot start with Coach Kim? You know, maybe you didn't know how this thing would start out with a new coach, obviously, new players, new teammates. You're new to the situation, and then all of a sudden you get going, and right now you're undefeated in league play.
I can say Coach Kim, she have always, pushed us and gave me a lot of confidence just to play. And our practices, like, we work so hard. It's a lot easier in the game for us. And we just know how to win at the end of the day.
How hard is it to stand out in her system? And I mean that in the best possible way, because so many players have the opportunity to get on the floor, and she's a performance-driven coach, and so you have to perform to see more time on the floor. Just how difficult is that to stand out, to maybe find your rhythm and stay within her system at the same time?
I can say it's easier because my teammates, they find me when I'm open and I'm making shots. They'll drive in for me. The point guards will drive in and kick out for me when they know I'm on. And also, I feel like it's just like a team. Like, we just play as a team. We just make each other better, like make plays for each other. So I can say it's like easy because how we play.
My guest is Aislynn Hayes. She is the reigning Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week in women's basketball. You are leading the league in your crazy numbers. You had 9 3-pointers last week, which led the league. You had 20 points and 23 points respectively in those games last week. It just, with a high-intensity offense, how was it just finding that shot this week? Because it to the untrained eye, it just looks like chaos out there.
Well, I can say there was 2 games before the games that we just played, and my 3 ball wasn't falling, and Coach Kim, there was a 3 that I didn't shoot, and I kept trying to force it to the basket, and Coach Kim, she tells me, she's like, Aislynn, why aren't you shooting the 3? You have a beautiful shot. And so I got back in the game, and I made a 3 right then and there, and ever since she told me that, I've been shooting how I want to shoot. So I can say it's confidence in Coach Kim that she gives to me every single game.
So the green light is given. Basically, if you got the shot, shoot it. That's how Coach wants you to play.
Yes. If you got the space.
Are you surprised how this has looked so far in the league? There have been times where you start off and you give the other team a lead, and then it feels like, okay, we spotted them enough. Now it's interesting to us. Let's go blow them out. And then you go out there and just outscore teams by sometimes really crazy numbers. How, first of all, how much has Coach aged over the last few weeks? Because I know she'd like to start with the lead.
I mean, she always tells us the game, it's like a game of runs. Like, we're going to go up, they're going to go up, but we just have to keep playing hard. And the defense that we play, I feel like it tires the teams a lot because we press the whole entire game. So I feel like we have an advantage just pressing and being in game shape because I feel like there's a lot of game shape like us. And so I feel like we're always going to have an advantage on teams just because our defense and how hard we play. And just like on offense, we just get it and we go.
Coach is pretty honest, though. When you start out slow, what's those huddles like? When she's in there, you maybe look at the scoreboard. The other team, for example, you had to come down from a 12-point deficit. What's Coach saying when you see the scoreboard, it's not your way, you come in? What's she telling you?
Well, she's just telling us to do the little stuff. Like rebounding, getting offensive rebounds, because that's a game changer. If someone misses the shot and then you go get the rebound, you kick it back out and someone makes the 3, I feel like that's just a game changer. So just a little bit of stuff like getting steals and, taking charges. So just the little things that she tells us that helps us, stay motivated. Is
it everything you hoped it would be? Is it as fun as you thought it would be when you signed up to play with Coach Kim?
Yes, I knew it would be just like this. She's a winner, and I'm a winner, too. And she's, like, one of the first coaches that, like, I feel like actually believes in me and cares about me. So I feel like it's just a blessing just to have a coach like her.
My guest is Aislynn Hayes. She is the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week coming up this week. You get a chance to see her twice. Old Dominion coming up tomorrow, 6 o'clock, and then Saturday it's going to be Coastal, 1 o'clock. Now, I know you're not as familiar with the years past with the Sweetheart Clinic, but what have you heard about that with all those kids that are going to be at Marshall all morning long and then coming over to the game to watch you play afterwards? What have you heard? Because I know it's going to be a crazy loud atmosphere.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be loud and everything, but I look forward to games like that because I come from a big family, and so I love kids and just letting kids look up to me and stuff. I love to do that. That's why I play basketball, to have little kids look up to me and stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Now, you probably weren't probably listening a few minutes ago. We had Sydney Shelton. She's the director of marketing at Marshall, and she was telling us that there are going to be a lot of things that are happening after the game. And I suggested that you might be out there on the court because they're going to have some stuff where the kids can interact with you. Are you going to post up on some kids? Are you going to be more of a mentor to these kids, or are you just going to show them, hey, look, don't even try to bring that stuff in. It's my court.
I'm going to be more of a mentor. I have enough of that at home with my younger siblings. I'll post them up, but for these kids, I'm going to be a mentor for them. And, if they have any questions, I'll be there to answer, whatever.
Speaking of your family, who's the better player?
That's tough. Because I'm going to say myself because, why wouldn't I say myself?
Right.
But I can say my younger sister, she's going to be the best out of all of us. And then I have a younger brother, too, and, he's killing it, too. And I just feel like my younger sister, she's going to be the best out of all of us. She's at WKU doing her thing right now. I'm so proud of her. So.
Wouldn't it be great if she could come and play with you as well? Maybe you can get her to come play.
Maybe. She loves it there, though. I'm proud of her.
Growing up in a family like that, what's the thing you can take away from that most? Because it's great to have family that supports you, but you have family that pushes you because they want you to be the best you can be, and you're trying to have them be the best they can be. And at the same time, I'm sure it makes for interesting conversation who's better on the court. Sometimes you're teammates, sometimes you're not.
I feel like my dad, he pushed all of us, so we're all very, very competitive. And so when we would play in the backyard and stuff, we would go at it with each other. And I feel like we wouldn't be as tough and do what we do on the court without going through that growing up. So I feel like that's an advantage that we have, been able to, practice and beat each other up, practicing and stuff in the backyard. That have gave us an advantage in college basketball today.
My guest is the reigning Sun Belt Player of the Week, Aislynn Hayes. She is going to be out there on Saturday and Thursday, and of course, now that you've established that you're the better of all the siblings, at least your younger sister, maybe has something to say about it. What's that dynamic going to be like on court, though? Because you're kind of teammates with one of your sisters, So, are you okay saying that you're better?
Yeah, she'll be all right.
How fun is it, though?
Okay.
Yeah, how fun is it, though, to have that with her and you on the court together?
It's so much fun. It's a blessing just to be able to get to play go to college with my sister, be roommates with my sister, my best friend. And me and Elijah, we've been close since we were younger because we're only 17 months apart. So she's always been my best friend. So it's just amazing and, a blessing just to be able to have this opportunity.
Now, if I asked her who was the better player, would she say you or would she say herself?
How competitive we are, she would say herself. So.
What's it like, though? Being on the same team, are you two more competitive together out there during practice especially, or are you two teaming up on everybody else? What's that dynamic?
So in practice, we're on different teams. So we're always going at it. And I'm going to push, just being her older sister, I'm going to push her to be better. So I'm going to pick with her a little bit just to make her a little tougher. So, yeah.
Now, that's deliberate, right, that you're on separate teams in practice. That's deliberate.
Yeah, we're on separate teams.
Okay, so coach is like, let me put those two on separate teams and see how that works.
And my teammates, they laugh when they see us going at it because, it's funny just seeing two sisters, trying to go get a ball, so it's fun.
They know to stay out of that, right? They don't pick sides. They just stay out of that.
That's one thing, they stay out of it. Mm-hmm. Coach Kim even stays out of it. Well, all the coaches, they just stay out of that. They just laugh.
Now, do they deliberately just put you two up against each other? It happens, obviously, in practice, but and are they setting it up? Are they making extra effort to make sure that, okay, we got to see Hayes on Hayes action here?
No, they don't do that.
I'll have to talk to Coach Kim about that then. See what happens. Aislynn Hayes is my guest. She's the player of the week in the Sun Belt. Fun talking to you. I appreciate you doing this again and being on with us. And congratulations. Let's hope that we get to talk to you soon. And, of course, you get a big week ahead with Old Dominion, 6 o'clock on Thursday. And then Saturday, it's going to be Coastal Carolina. Let's hope that after the end of the week, you're still undefeated in league play. So congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Aislynn Hayes, my guest. Great to talk to her. We're going to take our next break, come back. We'll get our text line open now, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Working Man Store in Huntington. Check out the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Healing Hands, Dickies, Cherokee, and Med Couture at the best price. Working Man Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man Store, open every day at 140 5th Avenue, Huntington.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Lavalette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555. And in Charleston, Lisa Godwin, 304-984-0000.
Score great savings and transform your home with Menard's huge selection of Patriot lighting. Find your style with over 300 stocked Patriot lighting interior lights priced under $100. Check out our elegant Joska collection to enhance the style of your home. Get a 2-light flush mount ceiling light stocked in 2 finishes for just $44.99 after $15 rebate. Price is good through January 21st. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Glockner's Too Easy initiative has returned for 2024. We're making it too easy to get more for your trade with our biggest cash offers. We pay more. Too easy to save time because Glockner has the fastest, most transparent 5-star shopping experience around. Too easy to find the vehicle perfect for you as Glockner has the area's biggest pre-owned inventory. That's why it's too easy to buy a car at Glockner.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Here's another Kinder Communications Community Chatter, the Home Energy Assistance Program, or HEAP, is open for applications for 2024. HEAP can help eligible Ohioans manage their heating bills. You can find applications at your local community action agency or call the Area Agency on Aging District 7 at 1-800-582-7277.
Community Chatter brought to you by Osborne Equipment Services in Jackson, Ohio. Contact us for all your heavy truck needs. Osborne Equipment, your diesel specialist since 1979.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you need. From the NFL, NBA, NCAA basketball to college football, bowl games, and the national championship. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Introducing In Your Business, a podcast highlighting thriving Huntington area businesses. Presented by Moses Auto Mall. Online at mosesmeansmore.com. In Your Business tells the story of Huntington's successes and where you can gain invaluable insights and advice from seasoned entrepreneurs. Produced by Kindred Communications and the Huntington Regional Chamber of Commerce. Find it on kindredcom.net, huntingtonchamber.org, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
People think saving money is hard, but really, it's easy. It's as simple as changing a few spending habits. For free tips on how to save the easy way, check out feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back. It's the Wednesday edition, The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. My name is Paul Swann. Thanks for being a part of our daily journey. 304-396-TALK is the text line. You can text the program anytime. If texting is not your thing, you can find me on social media. X is where I'm usually at, the app formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. You can also find our podcast. That's available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We've had some good stuff over the last couple of weeks. If you haven't a chance to, go back and listen to yesterday's show. I spoke with Cassidy Wood from Channel 13 and Tim Stevens from HD Media on their winning the Sports Writer, Sportscaster of the Year awards in West Virginia. So that was a pretty fun show yesterday. If you missed that, go back and catch that. Good stuff. Anytime you want to go back and listen to the show, it's right there on demand, available all the time. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe so it's automatically delivered to your device every time you're ready to listen. It'll be right there when the new episode posts. And that's The Drive with Paul Swann on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Fun show today. Women's basketball really heating up. The women right now still undefeated. Lone team in the Sun Belt that can say that on the women's side. Hopefully the Herd can continue that with victories on Thursday and Saturday. The men are in action tomorrow. We've got that game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The men are at Old Dominion, and that's going to be a 6 o'clock airtime right here on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Herd looking to get back on the winning track. Going to be tough. Old Dominion and James Madison, it's going to be a tough road trip for the Thundering Herd. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but it's definitely going to be a tough road trip. We'll see if the Herd can bounce back at the same time. We'll see if Marshall is able to take on some of the better teams in the league, starting with James Madison. I don't want to overlook Old Dominion, but you know, that's a funny game to me because that's Old Dominion. That's a team that you're familiar with. Marshall's familiar with Old Dominion. Old Dominion's familiar with Marshall. So yeah, that game's not going to surprise me, win or lose. That won't be a surprise. James Madison, on the other hand, we'll see if James Madison as good as advertised or maybe they peak too soon. I don't know. Still a lot of basketball to be played, and, of course, they're Herd on the road for these two games, and then they're going to come back and they're going to have a homestand that is going to last a little while. So excited for that. But if you're trying to scratch that basketball itch, you got two options, starting with Thursday with that Old Dominion game for the women, and then on Saturday with Coastal, and that's going to be a 1 o'clock game. And that's going to be, I think, a fun game. Should be a good crowd, especially with that Sweetheart Clinic. Yeah, and to bring up what Sydney, our guest, said earlier, Sydney Shelton, there are a lot of young women who have gone through that and they have been able to move on because they got that exposure at the Sweetheart Clinic to something that maybe they wouldn't have got exposure to normally. And I think that's a great thing. One thing I wish we would have talked about earlier was I think this is in its 25th year. I should have brought that up with Sydney, but this has been going on for a quarter of a century now. It's a pretty good endeavor. So I hope that you can participate next year if you didn't get a chance to get registered for it, and maybe this thing can grow even further. But definitely going to be fun on Saturday with the whole day Sweetheart Clinic and then the game against Coastal Carolina. Our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Keep that on speed dial. You're going to need it tomorrow as we get set for Marshall basketball. We'll be here tomorrow in studio, but we'll be able to take your phone calls and your texts tomorrow after the game. Hopefully Marshall will get the victory, but stick around after our broadcast ends. That's when we get started. I'll be right back here with you with Giovanni's 20th Street College basketball wrap-up, and we'll be taking your text and talking about the game. Hopefully we'll have a post-game interview with Dan D'Antoni, maybe a player or two. So stick around. All of that's coming up tomorrow right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and, of course, on 93.7 The Dog. That's it. We got it all done within an hour. So back with you tomorrow. We've got basketball. It's going to be fun. Hopefully the Herd gets back on the winning way. Thundering Herd right now, still pretty good shot to win the league. I'm not saying that that's over with just yet. One loss does not mean the season's over, but it's been good so far. We'll see how the Herd rebounds. And on the road, probably the best place to go rebound is on the road. No distractions, just go play basketball. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. And again, as I mentioned, if you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, please find me and give me a follow. That is at Paul Swann. Also, I'm on other social medias as well. The easiest way for you to do it, I've got a link on my bio on the Twitter handle, the X handle. That'll take you to everything that I'm on so far. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Back with you tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. We'll have a long night. We'll talk basketball with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Retransmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.